The rain hammered the windshield, each drop catching the light from passing street lamps before sliding away into black. Shelton tightened his grip on the steering wheel, squinting through the blur. The roads in Goa could be tricky on a dry night. Tonight, with the storm lashing, they felt endless. To break the monotony, he tapped his hands free. "Shubham, you up?" A click, then a familiar voice crackled through the speakers. "Barely. Don't tell me you're still driving in this weather." "You think I enjoy this?" Shelton laughed, though it came out nervous. "Feels like I'm the only idiot on the road. Haven't seen a single pair of headlights for 20 minutes. Shubham exhaled slowly. "Where are you?" "Heading back, somewhere past Kurutarium. The GPS tried to drag me onto a shortcut through Raya, but I stuck to the main road." There was a pause, a shift in Shubham's tone. "Raya, huh? You know that route brushes past the old DMelow house." Shelton frowned. "DMelow house? You've never heard of it?" Shubham asked, almost surprised. "It's one of those old Portuguese mansions, sprawling courtyard, pillared arches, red-tiled roof. Belonged to the DMelow brothers, Augustin and Salvador. Back in the day, people said they were inseparable, ran the family estate together, threw parties that lasted days. But when their father died, the will left the house to be shared. That's when everything soured. Augustine wanted to sell, Salvador wanted to keep it. They fought constantly, the kind of fight that curdles blood. One night, the shouting got so loud that neighbors swore they heard it half a mile away. Some say Salvador cursed Augustine, said if he couldn't have peace in life, neither of them would find peace in death. After that night, no one saw them again. The gates stayed locked, windows shuttered. A few people tried to check, but the place felt wrong, as if the house itself had swallowed them. Since then, drivers report strange things. Voices in the rain, lamps flickering in the hall, men arguing when the house is empty. People don't go near after sunset. It's just one of those stories you don't test. Shelton smirked, shaking his head at the wheel. Always the dramatics, Shubham. Anyway, I'll make it home. You get some sleep. Shell. But Shelton had already tapped the call off. The car fell silent again, save for the storm. Yet Shubham's words lingered. An old Portuguese house, a family curse, brothers lost to each other. Almost on instinct, Shelton muttered aloud, "Directions to DMelow house." The GPS responded in its flat, mechanical voice, pulling him onto a narrower road hemmed by trees. The deeper he drove, the less the rain looked like rain and more like a veil of silver hiding everything beyond his headlights. And then he saw it. At the end of a lane, framed in overgrown hedges, stood the house. Wide, low-roofed, its whitewashed walls eaten with black moss, wooden shutters crooked. The gate sagged forward like it was tired of standing. It looked less abandoned and more paused, as if the world had forgotten to finish its decay. Shelton killed the engine. The silence after the motor died was startling. He pushed the gate, iron hinges groaning in protest, and stepped into the courtyard. Water pooled at his shoes. The great front door loomed ahead. He reached for the handle, then froze. Behind him, the door creaked open. "Everything okay out here?" Shelton spun, heart lurching. A man stood in the doorway, tall and composed, the dimness hiding most of his features. His voice was calm, almost too calm. Shelton stammered. "Sorry, it's raining heavy. I stopped here for cover. Should have stayed in the car." He turned, ready to walk away. But the man's voice followed him. At least step inside till the storm eases. No sense in standing out there. Shelton hesitated, the storm rattling in his ears. Against his better judgment, he nodded and stepped forward. Inside, the air smelled of damp wood and mildew. The man led him to a hallway, lit only by a single oil lamp. The furniture was old but polished, as if someone still cared for it. "You live here?" Shelton asked carefully. The man smiled faintly. "I look after it. My brother prefers things quiet." The words hung oddly. Shelton looked around. No clocks ticked, no fans whirred, not even the faintest hum of electricity. The house seemed frozen in another age. They chatted a little, the man polite but strangely distant. When thunder cracked outside, the entire house seemed to shudder, and Shelton thought he heard, faintly behind the walls, the echo of voices, two men arguing. He blinked, and the sound was gone. Uneasy, Shelton forced a smile. "Thank you for the shelter. I should get going now that it's easing up." The man inclined his head. "Safe travels." Shelton stepped back into the rain. Only it wasn't raining anymore. He blinked, disoriented. The ground was dry, the air still. Not a drop fell from the sky. His car was wet, yes, but around him everything felt wrong, as though the storm had never been. And then he froze again. Leaning casually against the gate was Shubham. "What the—" "Were you following me?" Shelton demanded. "How the hell did you get here before me?" But Shubham didn't answer. He just looked at him with something between relief and dread. "Get in my car," Shubham said quietly. "Leave yours here. We'll come back tomorrow." Shelton stared at him. "What's wrong with you? I just met one of the brothers, all right. He was fine, polite, nothing spooky. You're acting like I've lost it." They drove back in silence, Shelton fidgeting, replaying the encounter in his head. Only when they reached Shubham's house did he snap. "Enough. Tell me what's going on. I'm not imagining things. I spoke to someone in that house." Shubham's hands trembled as he slid a folded newspaper across the table. Shelton glanced down. The date at the top read, August 2025. His stomach dropped. "You've been missing for 2 years, Shell," Shubham whispered. "Vanished on a rainy night, on the road to Raya." The words sank into him like ice water. His mind reeled. The storm, the house, the man, the dry ground outside. Somewhere, faint and far, thunder cracked again. Or maybe voices arguing in the dark. And suddenly Shelton wondered if he had truly left the DMelow house at all.